Since 2020, SeaWorld Orlando has been doing Inside Look. So we're going to take you back through the past 5 years to show you the different tours that we have been on throughout the park. From the orcas, the belugas, to penguins in what is now Penguin Trek. So let's dive in to these videos from Inside Look in the past. Here's the penguin.
Feel free to stand on any of the open sides. Just make sure we keep space between family groups and you stay behind the blue tape.
Hi, Jordan. What do you want? What do you want, Baba? What do you want?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Well, welcome to Penguin Inside Look. Here at SeaWorld Orlando. So you are currently looking at about Magellanic penguins are one of the 6 species that we house here at our park. Does anybody know how many different kinds of penguins there are? Okay, well, you guys want me to So we have 6 but there are actually 18 different species that you can find. And 12 out of the 18 are temperate or tropical. They don't like really cold temperatures, just like our Magellanic. So that's why they're able to be kept in this nice open air area rather than in our 32 to 35 cold water habitat that we'll get a chance to take a look at after this. So usually they would be found living down around 2 lane buildings. They are 8 feet. He's very Apollo. Yeah. But if you take a look at Apollo, you'll notice that he looks a little bit different than almost everybody else except for Pippa and Scout. He's more juvenile. So if he's about 1.5 years old, he has what we call a special teenage penguin. So they'll have those for about the first year, maybe 2 years of life. He's usually a little bit spunkier. As you can tell, we are not feeling the swishy pants today. But he will eventually go through his school. All of their hair together at the exact same time they grow. Once he does that, he'll have his black and white double banding, just like the rest of the adults. Now I can tell that this is Apollo rather than any of the rest of these birds because he has an ID bracelet on his slipper. All of our penguins are banded here. We just have a slightly different system for our Magellanics than we do for our cold weather birds. Magellanics, because we only have 29 of them, we do a left versus right system. The girls' bracelets are on the left, the boys' bracelets are on their right. If they were one of our cold weather penguins, there's 288 of them. Right is too much there. So we actually have a color system. They have a black bracelet, it's a boy. If they have a white bracelet, it's a girl. So again, for these birds, left versus right. For those birds, left or left. So they're all hanging out here. The one who keeps sticking his face out and trying to get everybody's attention is Gillen. He's about 4 years old. He is very curious, but does not always like attention, which is why we have that blue tape.
Hey, Buster.
So the female will go
Hey, hi there.
Set of feathers, and then the girl George is 2, and definitely in the terrible 2. He's good when he wants attention, and then outside of that, he's like, no, I don't want attention, even though he doesn't. All right, well, you're all set. I'm going to send you around the corner to learn about breeding.
We get to go see the. Now we get to go see the other penguins over here. These are the cold ones. Those were the warmer weather penguins. These are colder guys. See what the, we don't usually get to see from this angle. It's pretty cool.
Go ahead.
Welcome to breeding season. Come on in. We have almost 100 eggs in here so far this year. And we had over 500 penguins hatch out so far. Very successful breeding program here. There are quite a few eggs. Well, welcome to Inside Look for Penguins. My name is Shannon.
So they had 500 eggs hatch out this year. Oh, this guy's ice in his mouth. It's like, here you go, you can have spice.
So they do not like super fresh fire bills and like to do fire all our people
Yep. Well, I haven't had an issue there.
and for nature documentaries and so they go through such trees. All the ones we have in the male Apollo, Scout, and Pegma. They are our juveniles, so they're about a year and a half old. They have what we loving and call adults, and they'll have this this ice chip that's perfect for the nest life. Now, every single year, penguins will undergo what's called molting season. It's when they take off their feathers, they grow and do set. This takes them about 3 weeks to do. And so the next time that Apollo, Pippa, and Scout go through their molt, on the ice. But everybody right now is
Yeah, they look like they're needed to. Like I said, they use it for nesting material.
but I love it when called potato waste sitting there looking at everybody.
We have 5 snow machines in there. When they are fully running, you can make up to 20,000 pounds of snow a day. We do have one right up here above us. Closer here, we do have that one turned off. Obviously, we don't want snow falling on our nests.
Those aren't real ice machines.
Not all of them. We have some real ones.
Like that one? Like that one?
They just look really good.
For us, while they usually do not spend time around predators, so now I'll kind of just go around and take a look at everybody.
They fought for it. That's their spot, and they have defended it, and that's pretty much it.
Alright.
Everybody's got their own little favorite spot. So. You guys want to take your last couple pictures? We're going to open the door for you to head on to see some more penguins in just a few minutes.
We are in the middle of the breeding season for cold weather penguins. We've got lots of nests over
I do wish they go for
there.
zoom in a little bit.
Because penguin breeding season is just like so we'll let you head on over to Jack.
So what do you think of the penguins car?
Very cool.
Need to see this from behind the scenes.
Exactly.
They're the head.
Alright, I think we're moving on. We're moving on. We're still hanging out a second.
They're so nice.
Oh yeah, because that one's open, so they can't open this one.
I guess we should go hang on up there.
We only have one door open at a time. Obviously, keeps the temperatures correct. Also, the humidity. You guys think about in the ride, when you have been on the ride, you walk through the different stages. A lot of people get really excited about that. I wish we had signs because it would be really cool. It does actually, it's very important that we don't get too humid with penguins. So it helps get it off of your body and helps keep the obviously very humid outside. Thanks for coming to visit, guys.
It's a good use for the ride.
It is, right? Nice job. Double inside look.
Another couple. Sit up on here. The walkway. Dolphin stretchers. Sawtooth sharks are endangered. SeaWorld's the only one who has sawtooth sharks. They're the ones helping to find information to help them in the wild.
They have two queues for coming into the pool. We open up the gate, that's their visual queue. The playground tunnel, that's their auditory queue. And they actually are conditioned to come right on in. They know what time it is in that capture. So they'll come right in, let's put the food in, this also helps us get an idea of how much they're eating, and we'll make sure that they get the amount of food that they need. It's really cool to watch them eat. They use that long saw or the rest of their own tunnel.
So sharks come through this gate area into this pool. And this is where they eat. And it's in this pool to watch how much they eat.
Alright guys, we're going to go to the top of the deck. That yellow netting does move, so we're not going to lean on that. We're going to stay close to the wall.
Don't lean on the yellow net bear. So this is what you get to see from underneath. Typically, we're going to see the tunnel. This is the longest tunnel, at least it was at the time, the longest tunnel tube that you could go through and see the sharks. So normally we're down in that tunnel down there. Now we're on top. 700,000 gallons of water. So shark. Sawtooth. I gotta get my sunglasses. Over there on the other side is the restaurant, but it's actually down below. So it's dining underneath. And then this part here, you can see people. You can see those people right there walking through the tunnel. And here's Mr. Sawtooth. He's more congenial than our turtle is.
Huh?
He's more congenial than our turtle is.
So much, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117
What do you think, Fair?
It is awesome.
This is awesome. We've come for years and we've never seen this view of the sharks. 700,000 gallons of water. They are the only place, you may have heard before, say it again, they're the only place that has saw-toothed sharks in the United States. There's a cage. They used to offer diving, not anymore. Diving with the sharks, pretty cool. And there's the tunnel, which is the coolest part. Spot a shark down there. So the inside looks that we've just gotten to see in the past, earlier this year and then today. This one, so far, this is the coolest one. It's just seeing what you've always seen from down below, getting to see it from above, and seeing the sharks without the glass in between is just amazing. So, if you're ever at SeaWorld, you can do an inside look, come for it.
All the way down.
Behind the scenes at Orca Encounter.
We're filling all this space here. Just make sure we're keeping 6 feet in between.
I wish I could see your face, but I know what your expression is.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Justin. Welcome to Shandu Stadium. This is Amy and Trua, the killer whale. I'm going to give you kind of an overview of our facility here, tell you a little bit about our whales in general, and then we're going to hit up another location in the stadium too. If you have questions, just shout. I'll try hard to answer them for you. Our facility here has 7 different pools, over 7 million gallons of salt water. We make all of our salt water here at SeaWorld since we're in the middle of Florida. And then we can control the temperature, either warm it up or cool it down. If you had to guess, do you think that this is warmer or cold water?
Cold.
Cold, yeah, very cold water. It's about 52 degrees Fahrenheit. When you're swimming in it, it's so cold it gives you like an ice cream headache. It hurts your face, it's so cold. And it's great for killer whales. We have 5 killer whales that live with us here. There are 3 females and 2 males. Trua is one of our males. He is our largest whale. He weighs about 6,200 pounds. And then Mako is our other male, and he's meeting some folks out in the front show pool right now. He's 10. We also have the 3 females, which you're going to see in the adjacent pool. I think they're having a checkup with one of the vets this afternoon. The oldest is Katina, 44 years old. Daughter Nalani, who is 14, and then Malia is also, she'll be 14 in a couple of months. We try to make sure that our whales' lives are very balanced. So one way that we can make sure that we're doing that is through this acronym that's called HELPERS, which you have on the lovely easel over here. But we want to make sure that we're doing different things throughout the day, and no days, 2 days are exactly alike. So typically every day starts off with a checkup. We call that a husbandry session. It involves things like brushing their teeth, collecting blood samples, urine samples, fecal samples, whatever diagnostics the vets would like. And it's all preventative health care, so we can make sure that the whales are staying healthy. We have time for exercise, which involves a lot of fast swimming, jumping out of the water, really getting their heart rate up. We have time for play, which is really important, part of learning and learning new things, and also relationship building time too. We could not do what we do without building relationships with our animals. We spend more time with them than we do with our own husbands and wives and kids and dogs and cats and puppies. So we know them very well, and they know us well as well. Or they know us well too. Well as well. That's Mako there, he just joined us. We're able to open or close these gates in our facility. We have 13 different gates, so we can change the configuration of pools in the facility. So the environments are always changing, and the social groups are always changing too. So they just met some folks out there, part of our killer whale up close tour, and then as a way to reward them for coming up, they're going to get a toy. Enrichment's a really important part for our overall care program with the whales. It involves a lot of toys and other things that are kind of going to stimulate natural behaviors and play. So we've got these two large ball toys. We got some jello on them. So the orange squares on those are unflavored gelatin. We can control the amount of water in there, so you can make it really squishy and really kind of a harder consistency. And then you can use jello to glue on the toy, or glue different toys together using jello. And then they get to play with the toys, and then they eat the jello as well. The boys will play around with those toys now. What we're going to do, I'm going to have you walk to your right-hand side. I just want to show you our medical pool here before we head on to our next station. So everyone mosey on over here with me. We're just going to take a couple steps over here. This is one of two medical pools that we have in the facility. This is where we do a lot of our husbandry health care stuff. We want to make sure it's a really obvious place for the whales to be. And actually, it's kind of maybe the opposite of what most people would think. When we give the whales access to lots of pools, like a front show pool, maybe this pool here and this one, they tend to hang out most in the medical pool. Even though it's the smallest, we have made this pool crazy reinforcing. They love being in this. So even all 5 whales together, they're all huddling here. So this is where I want to be. I want to show you one function of this pool here. There's a false bottom lifting pool.
It's a false bottom in the pool to be able to lift up the whales. To get raised up, to get a raisin rub. Medical pool. On the other side of the thing either. Here, let's go over here, bro.
I heard Justin talking a little bit about our whales, but Tina and Lonnie, and that's the video right in the middle, looking up at you guys. Tina, like you said, is only 4 years old. Malia and Milani, very close in age. Milani just turned 14, and Malia will be turning 14 in just a few months. So they're very, very close in age. Milani was born right here at, in that front pool. So was Mako. So both of them are Tina's son and daughter. So I'm going to talk a little bit about training and enrichment. If you guys kind of look around you, you saw the 2 enrichments that we talked to for our male killer whales here in Mako. If you look behind you, you're going to see some more toys.
Toys! It's a toy box.
Right over there. So you see that little acronym EED? So that's basically a fancy word for toys. It's environmental enrichment devices. Sorry about our door. There we go. It's called environmental enrichment device. If you go in the zoological world, that's what we call toys. It's basically anything that you put into an animal's environment that they find enriching or that they like to play with. So it is very tough to come up with killer whale proof or killer whale kind of indestructible toys. But we do find them a lot of times. Those are like these really hard plastic balls. So these tend to be really well for the killer whales. So like you saw, we can stick gelatin on them and toss them into the water.
They saw the ball.
So I know you see everything. So this is Milani right here coming over to say hi to you. One of the ways you can tell her apart from Malia, because they do look very similar, is you can look up their eye patches. The whales all have different eye patches, kind of like our fingerprints. And then Milani, she has a little beauty mark on that left eye patch. On her right eye patch, right in the front of it, it looks like she has eyelashes. So it's like markings like an eyelash. So that's really different. Malia's eye patch is so you can tell a lot from your faces a lot. Researchers, why they don't tell the whale apart by looking at their movements. They don't get it. We do all the time. So we look for different markings or differences in their face. But then once you get to close with them, it's really easy to tell apart. Even when you come up that swim, it's really good. But anyway, we can talk to we have some really creative trainers here that are really good at coming up with different puzzle toys for them. So like that gelatin that you saw stuck to the ball, we can even use that to stick different toys together. It actually works as a really good adhesive, a natural adhesive that's safe for them to eat. They actually really like to eat it. And we can stick toys together or like hide fish or ice cubes inside a toy, and it's kind of like a puzzle toy to them to figure out how to get them apart. So all different types of ways we can reinforce them. I'm going to touch a little bit on training. Does everybody know what this is right for? What they can have with the whale? Yeah? So all of our whistles sound exactly the same. That means the same exact thing to all of the whistles. So what do you think? They listen to it and kind of pays attention. So it tells them they did a good job. This tells them whatever they're doing is right. So if I ask a whale to give a big wave high and they do it, I go, just like that. They'll say, good job, you did that right. So that's the way that we communicate with them. Especially during a show, you're out in the middle of the pool doing a jump. It's really hard to yell out, good job, girl. They use these whistles, it tells them they did a good job. The way we train this is we paired it with something that they like. So when they're young and they're starting to learn, we'll blow a whistle, give them a fish. Blow a whistle, give them a fish. Blow a whistle, give them some ice cubes, or give them a back rub. So they start to associate this with something good. So once they understand that, then we can go on and go on with the training. One of the first things that we train is them touching their rostrum or their face to this target hole. And we have much longer ones as well that will reach up to the middle of our dig pool. But we'll start off with something small right in front of us. So we'll put this right on the rostrum, we'll blow our whistle, give them a fish, back rub, whatever reinforce. So they start to understand, okay, every time I touch this buoy, something good happens. I'm told.
like you clearing your throat.
Yeah,
Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day. If you want to come back and walk through this again, you're more than welcome to. You can do this as many times as you want throughout the day. Bye guys. Have a good day.
Thanks.
So, Alejandro, what is your favorite habitat to dive into? I'll repeat. Can you hear me? What is your favorite habitat to dive into over here at SeaWorld? Can you repeat one more time, number one? Just a little slower. Yeah, I copy you. Can you repeat one more time?
Today, specifically in this one, to get the water.
What he said was, this exhibit is his favorite one, the Manatee exhibit.
That's gotta be cold in there, right? Oh, he's playing tic-tac-toe.
Feel free to play against Claire as well. She's an awesome tic-tac-toe player. And it's a really fun time. All you need to do is point to which X or O and then choose whatever spot on the board you would like. Alejandro, I have a question for you. So my question is, do you have a favorite animal here at SeaWorld? What was your favorite animal, Alejandro?
My favorite animal are sharks.
The sharks are your favorite animal over here at SeaWorld. We have a bunch of really awesome sharks. The newest one is a hammerhead who just came about 2 months ago. And he's been showing up and having a good time with all his other shark friends. So, Alejandro, what's it like diving with the sharks? Is it scary?
Diving with the sharks is a really cool experience. It's not scary at all. And it's an awesome experience that all of us divers here at SeaWorld get to dive with such important animals that live in the ocean.
I know in my experience with diving with the sharks, the most fun thing is just being so close to them. Sometimes the hammerhead will swoop right in, right near to us, he'll take a look, and then he'll just continue about his day. I think that's probably the coolest thing about being a maintenance diver here at SeaWorld. It's just simply how close we get to be with the animals. I get to interact with them on an everyday basis. Hey everyone, welcome to SeaWorld's Inside Look. We're here with the maintenance divers here at SeaWorld. And you get the opportunity to come on over and ask a question or two if you like. Just come on over to me. My name is Johan. Feel free to ask. Alejandro's over here in the water. And he's hooked up with some comm systems so he can speak to you as well. Feel free to play against Claire with tic-tac-toe as well.
That's interesting. Yeah, today? Very nice.
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to our back area. We're doing out our year-to-date animal rescues. I know it's the beginning of the year, but we already are busy. Already this year we've done 3 manatee rescues and 2 sea turtle rescues. So here on the rescue team we take care of manatees, cetaceans, which are dolphins and whales, sea turtles, and birds when there's not a bird influenza happening. But this keeps us quite busy, and we're going to be talking a little bit about what happens behind the scenes in order to rehabilitate and then to return back out. So our first stop is going to be, we're going to kind of bypass this table right here, and walk straight down to our boats and talk about what happens on an actual rescue. This is our manatee rescue boat. As you guys were waiting in the queue line, you might have noticed a couple more boats as you were out there. That was our cetacean rescue boat and a support boat to go out with our cetacean rescue boat. But this is our manatee rescue boat. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what happens to actually rescue a manatee. So we work really closely with Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. They're going to be the government agency that is on the water monitoring manatees, fielding phone calls. So let's say you were out on the water, you saw an animal that looked like it had been hit by a boat. You would contact Fish and Wildlife. Fish and Wildlife would then send their representatives out to monitor and see if that was true, whether that animal did need any assistance. We could go out in our boat and our van and meet up with them, find that animal, and in order to rescue that animal, we're going to set a net around it in what we call a compass or a circle. So let's say there's an animal that's kind of floating sideways, it looks like it's been hit by a boat. We're going to take this boat and run complete circle all the way around it while we're dropping net behind us. On the right side of the net, you guys will see it's very heavy. There's a lead at the bottom. And then on the left side, there's floats. So as the net is going out, it's creating a curtain. So this side is falling very fast and the floats are bouncing all the way back up. So now we've gone in a circle all the way around our animal, and now they're inside of our compass. We're going to work together as a group, usually about 8 of us or so on the back of the boat, pulling all in one unit together to get that animal onto the boat. So we're going to make our circle kind of bigger on the animal, and then we're going to collapse it down and make it small to where they're directly at the back of the boat, and then we're going to heave that animal on to that side. Then we're going to place this plankton that you see right down here, place it into the slots that are right here so the animal can't come back off the boat. Something super unique about it is that you'll notice there's no engine at the back, and that's so that we can move those animals out of the water onto the back, have all this heavy net at the back, so the engine all the way at the front. So if you've driven a boat before, you can imagine that's quite difficult. Now you have engine at the front, so we are doing a lot of adjusting as we're driving of weight distribution as we're moving through the water. But once we get the animal on the back of the boat, how do you get it off of the boat and back here to SeaWorld? Well, we're going to head right over this way and see that. I know, watch your step. Big net right there. So to move the animal out of the boat, we're going to be using a couple pieces in the stretcher because the stretcher has nice straps and poles for us to be able to grip and move. So here in the park, if we're moving an animal from, let's say, a surgery back to a pool, or moving it from a pool to another pool, we're going to be using a lot of heavy machinery in order to do that. You can see there's the crane right behind us. We use a crane quite often around here. Cranes, forklifts, all those sorts of things. But out in the field, pure manpower. So we're working together as a team in order to be able to do that. So once the animal gets into our stretcher here, we're going to place it onto this nice foam pad. We'll have people sitting in the back with it, monitoring the animal, making sure it's breathing okay. We'll be spraying its face down with water, making sure it stays nice and moist. One of our kind of most popular questions we get is how long can the animals be out of water? For our manatees, they can stay out for hours and hours. If we were going to transport something like a dolphin, sort of a longer distance, we would be using a transport unit, which basically is a box that the animal would be in water, in a stretcher, in water with. But for our manatees, they'll just sit on this nice foam pad, stay nice and moist. If it's cold like this today, we have the heat on, we have some blankets that we put over them. And then we would be driving from the boat ramp all the way back into the park, where our animal will be placed into one of our medical pools using our cranes and our forklifts. Our ultimate goal with our animals rehab-wise is to complete their rehab and then return them back out. So when it comes time to return them, we're going to do the whole process in reverse. Crane into the truck to the boat ramp back out into the water. So manatees aren't the only thing we rescue. We also rescue sea turtles, like you saw on our board over there. So that's our next stop, is we're going to take a peek at our sea turtles. I am going to ask that you guys stay behind the yellow line as we're walking. These guys are still sick. We want to give them some space. We want to make sure no hands go in the water. So stay behind that yellow line for me, but we're going to line all the way down the side. So these are Kent's relive sea turtles, and this is the most endangered species of sea turtle. They came to us this winter, so December time frame, from the New England area. So up in the New England area, there's a particular location up in Cape Cod where every single year thousands of sea turtles end up stranding themselves. They get stuck basically in the current and they can't make their way down south. So turtles, as you guys kind of know, are probably all over the country, all over the world, right? They're all down south, all down north, but they need to be in warm water when it gets cold. So they need to make their way back down warm. But if they get stuck in the current, then they end up cold stressed. And so that's what's happened to these guys. So we work really closely with a volunteer agency called Turtles Flight 2 that volunteer their time and their private planes to move turtles to different aquariums. So they flew these guys down here, and this is where they will continue their rehabilitation and then be returned back out down here once they complete their rehab. So about an hour from here is where they'll get returned back out. And most likely by the end of the spring, it'll be time for them to be returned. Every turtle is different on how long their rehab is. Turtles do everything very slowly. But most of them have pneumonia-like symptoms from being in the cold for too long. Some of them have wounds from being in the cold for too long. Think about it, if you got stuck in the snow for too long, it'll happen to you, same sort of thing. So when they first come in, they're going to get triaged by us and our veterinarians. They're going to be getting subcutaneous fluids, antibiotic injections every about 72 hours. They're nice, toasty, warm water. We're feeding them shrimp here at the park and increasing the amount of food that they are getting as they progress in their rehabilitation. And then once they are deemed medically clear, that's when it'll be time for us to pit tag them. So we place a microchip in their shoulder and then we will return them back out. And that's so that if it's time and they get rescued again, we will know if that's an animal that's been rescued another time. But how do you know when it's time for a turtle to be returned back out? Our veterinarians use diagnostic tools to be able to tell whether they're healthy again, and that's what we're going to talk about next. So we're going to head on down this way. As we are walking, you guys are going to be passing by our aquarium quarantine. Everybody knows what the word quarantine means after 2020. So these are all animals that are isolated from other areas around the park, whether that means they need some sort of medical treatment, or they're new to our collection. So our aquarists are the ones that are around the park taking care of our stingrays, our sharks, the beautiful tropical fish that you guys see. And so that is one of their areas right that way.
You want to do gophers?
Alright, so this is our laboratory. So we do have our lab technicians are in here every day working with water samples. So it's a very important thing here in Orlando. We do not live close enough to the ocean to be able to have water pumped in from the ocean. So all of it is, you know, man-made salt water a lot around the park. So we got to stay in very specific parameters for that. So they're checking things like pH and salinity. If you guys have ever had a saltwater tank, you know how difficult that is. So we do have a whole team of water quality scientists that are here monitoring around the park, but then we also have our lab that's running tests and running all of that for them and giving them the results that they need. Not only are they running water samples, but they're also running medical samples. So let's say that I needed to get a blood sample on a manatee. We would take the blood, we would drop it off right here to our lab, they would spin it down, and then by this afternoon, our veterinarians would have the results from that blood. Think about how long it takes to get your blood results back from your doctor, and it's pretty impressive that they do that around the park with all of the animals that are here. And this allows our vets to be able to make those changes very quickly, especially for us on the rescue team. You know, we're dealing with a lot of very sick and injured animals that need pretty immediate care. So for them to be able to make the changes that they need this quickly is super important for us in particular every single day. And so we really appreciate our lab members for working very hard and working very quickly for us. They also are the ones that are helping to distribute the medications that we need. So there is a pharmacy right here on site. So once our vets get those blood results back, they start prescribing things. Right here is where they will start drawing up the exact medications that we need and then pass it out to us, and then we will go administer said medication. So it's a really big kind of group team effort in order to get
so that we can get hands on the animal and disentangle it. A lot of times you guys saw the net. We'll work with SeaWorld to put a net around the animal, quickly disentangle it. We also have remote tools, so we'll always try that first. So this is a grapple. We also have knives, and we'll put them on the end of like an 18-foot pole and try and come up alongside the animal, grab onto your handle the animal if we need to, but sometimes it'll just grab and they'll pick it right off. Other times we might just be able to cut some of it off just to give it more time until we can get the net out and be able to capture the animal really set. So we've been working really hard to spread the word about entanglements because we've had so many. And we're using drone technology to overfly the animals to look at the configuration. So we would never want to hook into with a grapple an entanglement if it went through the mouth in any means. So it's really helpful to know what we're dealing with before we get hands on the animal. You never know really what's under the water. We had one once entangled in a Hawaiian pole spear. So it had a 6-foot pole spear that was dragging. So the more information we have at a time, the better off we're going to be. I would say that being said, the quicker we know about it, the better off the animals will be. So if you guys are on the water at all or local, there's the FWC number is for whales, dolphins, turtles, manatees, any injured wildlife you might come across. They'll get you to the right people, and that's a 24-hour number. So if you want a pamphlet or key tag, it has a number on it. Those are floating boat key tags. Like blood, or just remember it in your mind. The FWC number, it'll get you help for whatever animal you might come across. We appreciate you guys stopping by. Have a great day.
And if you have any questions,
Can I grab one of the?
absolutely.
Grab one of those. Thank you. We live on the Indian River, so it's just in case I haven't ever seen anything, but just in case. So appreciate
You're
it.
in our territory.
Very good.
Keep an eye out.
Well, thank you.
back or the power system generator. We put in the railing for last time.
You're wonderful, sure. Here, we do this first before you're right this time.
Good morning. Hi. Good. You guys can go all the way down to that blue barrier. Just stay behind that yellow line for me, okay? Good morning. Welcome to the top of Manatee Aquarium. So, my name is Steph. I'm part of the husbandry team here at SeaWorld. And this is where I kind of come in. How many of you guys have already gone to our gallery this morning? Like our big gallery where you guys see all of our windows and stuff?
Okay.
Cool. So, to kind of hear where you guys are or have you walked through already, over in that back corner would be our front doors. So you guys will be coming into those front doors. Where you guys see those lights is where our M1 tank would be. Right now it's under refurbishment, so you guys don't really see that when you first stop in. The second area that you guys will come to is actually our top view viewing window that you guys see right here. You may see some guests actually in there. But that's kind of where guitarfish like to hang out, as you can see. Walking through the gallery, you will find our two peekable windows right here. Where you guys can actually see into M2, which is our largest habitat here. It's about 240,000 gallons of salt water. And then if you guys continue through our gallery, you will find our weedy sea dragons. And then our gallery window right here at the front. So some of the animals that we do have in here, like I said before, we do have our guitarfish. We have 3 males and 1 female. We also have 2 of our silver sharks in here. There's the other one swimming around right now. This one right here is Queso. And then Violet is swimming around somewhere as well. As you can see, we do have our lesser devil rays. They are not baby manta rays, but they are a species connected. We also have Dolphin right here. She is our black splotch ray. She's just hanging out. Yeah, you guys can step up to that yellow line. You can't see her right over here. And then you also have Devo. So if you guys have been over to Stay Right There Viewing, and have seen Devo or Ted Boomer and seen Boomer, we also have one here. His name is Devo. He is our leopard male. He's about 200 pounds. Wobbles to about 400 pounds. So he is bigger than Boomer. For reference, Boomer looks big over the lagoon. And as you guys can see, we do have one of our Nowdose rays swimming in here as well. Her name is Nikki. She came to us from Discovery Cove. She is in here over at Manatee Aquarium because she swims the opposite direction as the stingrays over at SeaWorld.
Oh.
She swims clockwise, they swim counterclockwise. So for her safety, she gets to hang out here.
Oh, is that?
As you guys can also see, we do have our bonnet-headed sharks in here. They may look like baby hammerheads, but they're not. But they are a subspecies of hammerheads. They are in the same family. They just are not baby hammerheads. So you'll see a few of them swimming around. So the temperature in here right now is 73, 78 degrees Fahrenheit. So it can get a little chilly in here. Do you guys have any questions? Triggerfish? That is a very good
Gates behind me here through the animal area do not enter sign is where all of our stadium animals live. So any animals you guys see in our presentations live back there. That includes our otters as well. So we have about 14 sea lions back there and about 17 otters or so. So back there, have you guys been to our presentations at all yet? You have? Okay, so our Clyde and Seymour, sorry if I crushed your dreams, are just stage names for those animals. So we have about 4 or 5, I know, I'm sorry. We have about 4 or 5 animals that play those parts of Clyde and Seymour that live back there. And that's the same with our otter roll as well. So we have about 4 or 5 otters right now that are doing that otter part as well. So they all live back there.
out there where you guys were at, and also this back hallway is kind of our whole exhibit side that we like to say. So we have about 90 animals total out on the exhibit side, and then back here we have, gosh, I don't know, 30 or so animals back there that we all take care of individually, which is pretty fun. We did have a very successful pupping season this past summer. We had 9 pups born, which is super fun. So if you guys, when you guys head on back up there, see all the little guys swimming around. They're definitely getting big fun, and they like to swim, do jumps, all that fun stuff. So we go through, with that being said, with all our animals, we go through about 1,000 pounds of fish to feed all of our animals a day. So part of our role, we have to come in, we have to prep all that food, of course. So we do have a team that comes in bright and early at 5 a.m. every morning. So they bucket, weigh out, and prep all the food and all the dyes that are needed for the day that we feed. We do feed a variety of herring, mackerel, squid, smelt, capelin, sardines, a whole bunch of different fish that they love. We'll also occasionally utilize Jello as well. So Jello is a really great way for animals to get a little extra boost to hydration. It's also a really great opportunity for us to incorporate some enrichment. So enrichment is anything, I just kind of say it's a fancy term for toys basically. So all this stuff you guys see over here is enrichment that we would use for our animals. So back to the Jello, it's obviously mainly just water. So they're gonna get all the hydration through the fish that they eat. They're not gonna drink any of the water that they're living in. So the capelin fish is probably their most hydrating fish that we can give them. I kind of like to compare it to a cucumber. It's very high water content. But with the Jello, again, it's just some extra boost of hydration. We'll also put in some fun molds to make it a little more fun. So we can change the shape of it, we'll change the color of it, we'll add fish to it, we'll make some jellofish freeze pops, anything that our animals are gonna have fun playing with. A few things we like to consider when we're considering enrichment, of course, is safety. That's our number one thing, obviously. So anything that's gonna be safe for our animals. Sea lions, they might not quite. Otters are really lucky. They get basically anything they want since they're so small. Sea lions, on the other hand, we worry about choking hazards, of course. So they're not gonna get quite as much. So like these blue balls and this little purple cylinder thing, they won't get it just because we don't want them to choke on it. But with the otters, these things are always fun for them. So we'll do some playtimes with some of their sessions. So every animal has a base diet. We'll split that base diet up into different sessions throughout the day. It can vary between 3, 4, sometimes 5 sessions a day. So usually within one of those sessions, we like to do a playtime with these guys just to have fun with them. This is a common one we use for our otters. As you guys can see, it's basically a dog toy or a cat toy. So we'll put food, some ice, some Jello in here, and then we'll use their little paws to kind of grasp at it. Anything to help stimulate their brain is going to be super good for them as well. And then same with this blue ball, we'll put some shrimp, we'll put some capelin in here. That's the main thing that our otters eat, are shrimp, capelin, and smelt. So we'll put all that fun stuff in here. They'll use the little paws to work at it, use that brain, stimulate that brain to help use it. Do you guys know who Slowpoke is? So Slowpoke is our Pacific walrus. So she does some of our presentations. She is actually the oldest walrus in human care in the world. So she is 46 or 47, don't quite remember her age, but it's 46 or 47. So we're very lucky to get to work with her. She's a remarkable animal. But just as we get older, our joints get a little stiffer, we get a little slower. So she does get physical therapy every day. We also have other sea lions that get physical therapy. Rewind is another one. He's one of our same animals. He gets physical therapy. So that can look different per day. Sometimes we'll have our vets come down, they'll do laser therapy. We have one of those massage guns. I don't know if you guys know what those are. We'll use those on Rewind for his neck. And then also just simple stretching as well we'll do. So Slowpoke's super fun because we'll do some fun PT stuff with her. So this kind of half boomer ball, I always like to showcase because this is a fun physical therapy thing that Slowpoke loves. So what we'll do is we'll have her kind of grasp her flippers around these sides. And Slowpoke's eating about 65 pounds of food a day right now. And that's a variety of shucked clams, squid, and herring. So we'll mainly put clams in here. So we'll put a whole bunch of clams in here, and then she'll grip these sides with her flippers, and we'll have her lift it up, and she'll slurp all the food out this hole at the end. So it's super fun for her because she's getting a whole bunch of food for doing that. But it's really good for her health and for her joints to keep her moving and limber. Awesome. So when this group kind of heads on up, I'm going to switch gears, you guys. We're going to head on back into our CC hallway. So I asked you guys to sit through another foot bath for you. You just don't want to bring any bacteria or contaminants in. And then I'll kind of talk to you guys more when we get back here. You guys have any questions at all so far? So I'm just rambling.
there a progression between like the show animals and the specific ones?
Yeah, so all
Would
of
you
our...
start over here and work or go back?
Yep, so all of our show animals were born out on the preserve. So kind of, this is honestly kind of the hallway we kind of start that transition. So in here we have some of our younger guys. So what we can do is we'll shut this door here. We can open up this door. This door leads right out to the preserve that you guys were just at. And then we can open up this hallway to any animals that want to come back here. Sometimes, like these guys, they stay in here because they kind of like the solitude, just away from everything sometimes. We also have sprinkler heads above. Yeah, me too. We also have sprinkler heads above. So what we can do, we kind of turn this back here into a fun playtime. We'll make it a big slip and slide for them. So we'll throw a whole bunch of fish, ice, jello back here. They can come and go as. So what we'll do is, any animals that come back here and don't quite want to go back out, we'll kind of slowly start doing stuff with them so we can start hand feeding them fish, see if they respond to it. Any animal that looks eager and wanting to participate with us, we can move over. Not all animals are going to be into that, which is fine, you know, we all like our different things. But this is kind of where that whole process starts for that. So we can keep walking this way. We hear you. So in this pool we have Chip and Lemon down here. So Chip and Lemon are some of our old ladies, I like to say. You guys can go ahead and take a look. Just please don't stick your hands in there. So this kind of back hallway is what we call our CC hallway. That doesn't necessarily mean to have critical care animals back here. So Chip and Lemon, we do kind of count as any animal that's going to need more than like your once a month kind of check. So Lemon is pretty much blind in one eye and Chip is almost completely blind. Hi Enid. So this is Enid. Yeah, I know. Enid's back here because she got a little too aggressive. You can see she has a cut on her flipper in her nose. But our vets come to look at it about once a week. So any animal that is back here, it's something that our vets might need to look at for medical reason. Hi lady, I know, you're very cute. I know. We also try to make sure any animal that's back here has a companion. So Shane is also the one that's laying on the back there. Sea lions are very social animals, so we always like them to have a pair to either play with, sleep with, anything like that. They're crazy. You guys have any questions so far? I did, yep. So I went to school for marine sciences. I did an internship with sea lions up in Wisconsin, actually. Yeah, and then I was an aquarist for a while, worked with some aquarium stuff, and then I came here for this job. Yeah, I really love it. They're super fun. I always like to say, they have the personality of dogs. We call them our big sea dogs. They really do. And it's fun because you can build different relationships with each animal. Same with them as well, which is super cool. All of our animals on preserve do get a yearly physical as well, so it actually is physical season for us. So Shane just got his last week, and then the two up there might be on schedule for some, I'm not quite sure. But all of our sea lions do get yearly physicals, make sure they're on track, they're growing, they're healthy, all that fun stuff for them. Awesome, any other questions you guys? Just in awe. What's the oldest sea lion? Oldest? Believe is Gunner, who's on our sea lion, who was on our stadium side. He's 27. He's a sweet old man. We love him. He's super fun. Kind of has this grace going on above his eyes. He's super cute.
Yeah, are all the sea lions that are here now, are they all born in SeaWorld, or any of them?
So all the ones right now, at least on Observe, were born here. Carly was a rescue who's out on our preserve. That's the only one I'm aware of. I believe that's the only one I'm aware of. But most of them were born out here. Yeah. Awesome. You guys want to work out this outside. You'll see a lot of our seals hanging around this area. I know we're seal called seal grotto. I like to say it. You guys can see Frances and her pup's actually right behind her, so some of our pups are out there as well. That's cool. Oh, that's neat. meantime. Thank you, I appreciate that. One of our many dedicated, very hardworking animal care specialists. But yes, welcome to the fish house.
I'm gonna squeeze you all this way. I need to get into the
Oh, yeah, sorry, so guys, let's go over this way. Yeah. Another one of our very dedicated, hardworking animal care specialists. So here, this is where all of the animals' food for all of the animals here at the park is prepared at the beginning of the day. When I say the beginning of the day, I mean very early morning. Some of our ambassadors get here as early as 2:30 in the morning to begin preparing the animals' diets. So this lady, as you can see from her awesome shirt, is part of our animal rescue team. They take care of a lot of the rescued animals that live here, such as the manatees. And that's mostly done in this area. In this corner is our aquarium area. The aquarium takes care of all of the fish and reptiles here at the park. The sea turtles, the alligators, and the fish. The stingrays, the sharks, all good stuff. In this corner, does it sound like an announcer? This is for our aviculture team. You guys know what aviculture means? Birds, you got it right. All of the birds here at the park are taken care of by aviculture, like this lady right here. The penguins, the pelicans, the macaws, the flamingos, all the birds. And as you guys can see, it's not just fish for the penguins and the pelicans, it's also fruits and vegetables for a lot of our other animals. Everything else is for our marine animal team. Marine mammal including seals, sea lions, walruses, dolphins, beluga whales, and of course, we're at SeaWorld, so killer whales. Now all together is a lot of mouths to feed and a lot of food to put in those mouths. For example, as you guys can see from this board right behind the head, all of the different fish we're feeding out today, just today, only today, is about 1,400 pounds of fish. In 1 week, we usually go through about 35,000 pounds of fish for all the animals. It is a lot of mouths to feed. But, even though it smells like fish in here, I did see a couple of you guys didn't notice, there's not a lot of fish in here. And as you guys can see from the animal care specialists, they clean every inch and every centimeter of this place after they use it. Literally, they have these posts on the ceiling to spray down everything. The underside, the inside, scrub everything. I'm totally comfortable eating off this floor. And I cannot say that about my kitchen at home. Well, we're gonna let them there. Head up the way to paint. So you guys can see more of the back areas. Don't worry, we're not done yet. We're just gonna head up the same way to paint. Oh, me, you're ready to watch it.
Oh, that is cool. Because I mean, most people don't get to go see coral, so.
Hey. You guys have pass holders?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. If you have any questions, just ask. Just let me know. I'm Justin. I work here at the Coral Rescue Center. So we're getting, these corals are going to, the only system that has real live coral in it is the first system over there on the left. So those ones that are stocked. We're in the process of stocking all the aquariums. We're in the process of building this out because you guys are like the first people to see this. Really, nobody has been in here before today. So,
oh, nice.
We're super excited. Eventually, every one of these tanks will be full with very rare, very protected Caribbean coral that we're going to hopefully use as a gene bank. We're going to propagate these corals and we're going to put them back under the reef. That's the ultimate goal, is to get the coral back in. The coral that we have was collected by Fish and Wildlife in NOAA before there's a disease going through the Florida Keys right now called stony coral fish disease. It's killing like 90% of the corals. So all the corals that were collected before that disease came through. So they really did go out and rescue these corals. If the disease would have got to the corals, most of them would have died. So the corals we're going to stock it with will be in the next few weeks as soon as our quarantine's finished. But then you guys come back in a month or two. Hopefully we'll have more coral. We'll have more display aquariums. Kind of like a working lab. We're going to have Aquarius here. We're really excited to get the process started.
Oh, we're just excited. This is a great use of the space. So it's very cool.
We've been doing this at another facility for about 3 years called
I heard
the
about that.
Coral Rescue Center, and it's been a huge success. We've had these gene bank corals with us for 3 years. They've been doing really well. They've been spawning a little bit. We're waiting for the state to give us the go-ahead so we can spawn them even more to get them back on the reef. Because right now, the reefs and the keys are like not even close to what they should be. They've lost for the last 30, 40 years like 50 to 60% of all coral down there has died.
Yeah.
right here, you can see this. These are quarantine tanks right now. Each one of these, it's hard to set up. There's 200 little snails. You see the snails in there? Yeah. There's also about 20 urchins in each one. They're mostly on the rocks, but they got to go through a quarantine period before we can put the corals into the tank. They were brought up from the Keys, and they don't want to have any of the water that was associated with those have the disease in. So there's a very strict quarantine, very strict biosecurity. We're waiting for that disease potentially to be without corals for 30 days, so it can leave the system, and then we'll put the corals in to make sure that they're safe.
That's cool. Very cool.
If you have any more questions, thank you. Check out the tanks down here. These are actually the ones that you have before.
Get a couple pictures of the just that if you don't mind. Yeah, if you can take a picture. The Dolphin and all the gauges and stuff. It's a lot of different buttons and knobs. We just gotta keep it flowing so it feels like the ocean.
Behind the signs that say inside look. Yep.
migratory birds can fly over their nesting grounds and take adults and chicks. Land areas, things like leopards in South America can take them.
How tall can they get?
About 5 feet tall for the most for males. Males are going to be a little taller than females, although that's not the most reliable way to tell male from female. Most of the time males are bigger, but not always. So we do a DNA testing when the juveniles are coming into their juvenile feathers, so we do a DNA test on their feathers. They look a little curious now because for the morning they've been standing under that heater. That green lamp is a heater. Yep. Yep. They do, yep. The younger ones out here are more of our ambassador flamingos. They were hand raised from chicks, and so they were raised to be more comfortable with us for handling and our ambassador tours and things. These are our walkers as well. They've walked through the park for guests to see walking through.
Have you guys started doing that again here?
We did walks for a little while, and now we've been doing up close tours. Hello, sir.
I remember many years ago running into a flamingo walk.
Yeah, those were our big adults. Yep, that was our adult flock. And we started doing it with our younger flock last year. Dalvin. That's Willow. These are all 1.5 years old.
How many flamingos does SeaWorld have here?
A little more than 40. Yep. Good job. Thank you for keeping your distance.
Yeah.
Good girl, Willow. I know you're curious.
You just can't go inside. He's like, I'm only 1.5 years old. Sorry, we don't have any food. I don't respect your boundaries.
You guys have any other questions? Got about 1 more minute.
How did you get started working with flamingos?
How did we get started working with flamingos? So our aviculture department consists of all of our outdoor birds and our penguins. So when you apply for a zoological specialist position, it might be for aviculture, it might be for one of our other animal departments. And so we, most of us all have bird experience, or we're able to put in our preferences about what department we wanted to be in. And then within our team, we have probably like 19 of us in the bird department. And so part of our team is for outdoor birds and the rest is for penguin. We have 2 penguin areas.
Yes, very cool.
So we have a fairly small team for a lot of birds.
A lot of birds, yeah. Well, that's very cool.
Some do, yep. Since these were all hand raised, they are a little bit more attached to the person who raised them. But they are more used to humans now and us working close to them, so they're pretty curious about all of us. Penguins as well, they have people that they like over other people. Yeah. All right, everybody, our time is up, unfortunately. Thank you so much for visiting us today.
Thank you.
Hi, kid. Crane and this driver, so it is kind of an undertaking. We would have a transport box, so it's just a box full of water. We would have the whale in a stretcher. You guys will get to see that stretcher a little bit. And then we're able to just use the crane to kind of lift the whale up in the stretcher and then move it over the wall and then lower it down in the water. So it's quite an undertaking. I've never seen it in person, but yeah. All right, so we're gonna walk up this driveway here. Out here, so that white thing is one of the favorites of the belugas. That green, I don't know how to describe it. This green thing is a favorite of one of our walruses, Cora. She really likes to hold it. She also likes to hold it with her little flips, so you can see her holding it while she's kind of swimming around, which is super cute. We can also use the bubbles. Whales are not a fan. Walruses are more of a fan. But we are constantly thinking of ways to enrich their lives. So with the bubbles, sometimes it's well received and sometimes it's not. So with the bubbles, they weren't really a fan. But with this thing, or
or this thing, or even the duck, they really, really like it. So it's just kind of hit or miss. That's part of the fun of it, is trying to be creative and come up with things that they will enjoy. They also really like that bowling ball too, so they will, yeah, they will put it in their mouth and then spit it out really, really fast. So yeah. Yep. So we have one that floats and one that sinks. It's kind of a gamble on which one we put in the pool, but we don't want to put the one that sinks in there because then somebody has to get it.
That was my question.
Because they won't retrieve it. But with the one that floats, they do really like to spit it out. We really can only use it on habitat because we used it back here, and Oliver spat it at the wall really fast, so we were worried about the paint on the wall cracking. But out on habitat, there's more than enough room. All right, so you guys can walk up to our windows here. You can see we do have some enrichment stuff in there at the moment. So we have that white box thing that they do seem to enjoy interacting with. We also have our kelps in there, so that green thing right there, they really love that. They love to drag it around on their tail flukes. They'll carry it around with their heads. They will use their tail flukes and throw it, and then they'll pick it up with their head, and they'll throw it again with their tail flukes. They really, really like it. So they are both back here. It's kind of hard to see them. That would be Nunavik that's coming up right here under the green kelp, and then Oliver's over on the other side. You can tell the difference mostly because Oliver's a lot big, or Nunavik's a lot bigger than Oliver. So Nunavik weighs 2,400 pounds and Oliver only weighs about 1,700. And what I'm doing right here is I'm tracking if they're playing, if they're engaging with their enrichment. So this is kind of something that we're doing because we are having an animal care specialist walk through here every couple of minutes. So we're kind of taking advantage of that because so that we can track what they're playing with, what they're not playing with, when they're playing with it, and we can kind of go off of that. So we can use that knowledge so in the future we can be like, they really, really enjoyed this toy, so we can give them this. Or we can be like, well, this toy's not really a hit, so maybe we won't use it so much in the future.
He's got the blue kelp on his tail.
Yeah, so they really enjoy that. All right, so next up we're gonna walk through this hallway. There are seals over on the left, but we're just gonna keep walking, so we can look at the seals as we go, but we're not gonna stop to look at the seals. All right, so we're good to go. Turtle is actually one of the oldest seals in the park. He's 32 years old. Wow. So he's actually the second oldest. The oldest being Jessica, who's 34 years old. Alright, so we can keep walking down the hallway. And I'll point out the stretcher. I was talking a little bit about moving belugas. This is how we move them. So this is the stretcher I was talking about. They have little holes for everyone to go into. You can see. Size stretcher. We also have our target pools right there. That is a training tool that we can use. So at the very, very basics of our training, we're able to ask them to touch the end of their snout to that target pole, and then we're able to move that target back and forth. And they'll follow it for like hitching or up and down for hitching yes, in a circle for like hula behavior, and we can kind of build off of that. They are constantly learning. Training is a lifelong process, so a lot of people ask how long it takes to train them. There's not really a definitive answer for that because it is a lifelong process. They're constantly learning new things, new behaviors. But yeah, all right. So we're gonna keep walking down this hallway. rehabilitates. I was on it today. So for fish house shift, like for example, I got here at like 4:45 and essentially got everything ready, caught all the fish, put it all in the buckets, and got it ready to go. And then it also entails a lot of cleaning because we are very meticulous about how clean our fish kitchen is. So it did entail a lot of cleaning. All right, so you guys want to be this way. All right. Yeah. Alright, so this is our fish house. So I was talking a little bit about how this works, but these are the sinks that we would use to thaw our fish. So in the morning, we put all the fish in the sinks, we turn the sinks on, and then we get everything set to go. So these are all of our diets too. So for example, Garfield, he's our big male walrus. He gets 73 pounds of food a day. And it's, you can see it's broken into 3 buckets. So he gets an AM, a noon, and a PM bucket. You can see also that it's broken up by species of fish. So he gets 1 pound of herring, 7 pounds of capelin, 13 pounds of clams, and 3 pounds of squid in just his AM bucket. And that way we're able to know exactly, well, pretty much approximately how many calories they're getting in each and every bucket and every day. Because we know how many calories in herring, how many calories in capelin, clams, and squid. You can also see those red numbers up there. Those are the total amount of food we go through in a day. So we go through 67 pounds of herring in a day, for example. We also, you can see our whale diets right there, and we also have our harbor seals. So you'll notice the harbor seals get less, but our biggest harbor seal weighs 320 pounds, and Garfield weighs 3,200 pounds. He's a little bigger. Yeah, and then also something that I think is super cool, all of our buckets are color coded. So we do have different color combinations for every bucket. So for example, this bucket would be Goose. Garfield. Yep, so this is Garfield's AM bucket. I know it's an AM bucket because it just has 1 little ring of tape here. The PM, or the noon bucket will have 2 little rings of tape, and the PMs will have 3. So it's really easy way to keep organized, and it's also super fun. So for example, Garfield's color is purple because one of our animal care specialists has worked with him for 22 years, and her favorite color is purple. And they have a very special bond, and he's also her favorite animal. So it is only fitting that she's known him the longest out of all of us. So it's only fitting that his color should be purple. All right. So we're gonna walk out this way. You can also see this is our freezer and this is our cooler. But we're gonna walk out this way, and then we're gonna go around into that wall. Alright, so unfortunately this is where we say goodbye. But do you guys have any last questions before we do that? No, thank you for the tour. No? Oh, of course. Thanks for coming to see us. This is our exhibit, so you guys will be able to see our harbor seals are over on the right, and then our beluga habitat, they're hanging out in the back right now, so you might not be able to see them. But our beluga habitat is over on the left, and we also have our walrus habitat is kind of down the hall. But yeah, thank you so much for coming to see us today. Very nice to meet you. It's really cool. Thank you. Of course.
By the time I had seen it, we were literally already behind the scenes.
Oh, of course.
We were already behind the scenes.
Oh, of course. Have a great day.
From inside the Nautilus Theater here in sunny Orlando, Florida, Inside Look proudly presents Seal of Fortune, a very special game show where real-life humans get to test their knowledge on the rest of the animal kingdom. And here is your host, who is absolutely the most, Mako.
Fortune, thanks for the standing ovation. You may all be seated. If we haven't met before, my name is Michael. I'll be your host for the next couple of minutes as we enjoy Seal of Fortune. I'd like to introduce you to our stage assistants this afternoon. This is Vanna and this is Vincent. Now the reason that Vanna and Vincent are important is because all of the contestants that we will be picking for today's show will be coming right out of the studio audience. So kids, if we pick you to join us on stage, find Vincent or Vanna. They're going to show you where to go and what to do. That's pretty much everything you need to know about Seal of Fortune, except one question. You guys ready to play? All right, let's introduce you to our first team. Over here on your left are the green team. They're made up of SeaWorld's own zoological professionals. Please welcome Paige and Adam, the green team. All right, Adam and Paige from the zoo team. You're representing the green section. Adam, you're currently over at the Orca Encounter working with the killer whales. How many killer whales are there at the Orca Encounter?
We have 5 killer whales.
And what's the gender breakdown, male and female?
3 females and 2 males.
All right, of the 5 whales, which one, I know you probably love them all, but which one would you say you have the most, strongest relationship with, the most history with?
Malia.
And why?
Well, I'm on her training team, and so I've spent the most time with her.
Oh, it's good. Good to have you. That was not as descriptive. Let me ask you a question. I was hoping for more. What makes Malia so special?
Oh my goodness, Malia, she is very independent, and everybody thinks their kid is the smartest, but she really is the smartest. So, a lot of fun, always, sometimes a little sassy, and just a little spark in her that you see all the time.
Is this a long story?
Yes, it is. And at the end, I find $20. So hang in there. But she's just a lot of fun. She's very smart, independent. You can ask her to do multiple things simultaneously. And even if chaos is happening, sometimes she's there and ready to go.
All right, well, good to have you. Welcome, good luck. Over here's Paige. Paige works in the sea lion and otter area. What's your favorite animal there, species-wise, to work with?
Oh, sea lion, for sure.
And why?
They have really, really big personalities and they're just really high energy, ready to go.
Speaking of, I know before the show you picked somebody who's high energy and ready to go. It's someone from the audience. They're going to be serving as the green team captain, and that person is?
Audrey.
Audrey, come on down. Audrey's going to be the team captain for the green team. Audrey, let's go. Come on, up the ramp. She's moving like a herd of turtles. Right here, Audrey. Audrey, come right over here. How old are you?
I'm 7.
Where are you from?
I'm from North Carolina.
Well, it's good to have you here. Audrey, did you think when you got to SeaWorld today that you would be on stage playing for fabulous prizes?
No.
Well, who knew? If you will, go join your players over there on the green side. Let's give a big welcome for the green team. All right, so we're going to divide the audience into 2. If you're over here on this side, you're going to be rooting for the green team. If you're seated on this side, you're going to be rooting for the blue team. Oh, I see what's happening. It's the longshoreman and a longshore woman. If you don't know these guys, they're typically found in SeaWorld's waterfront, but I don't know what you guys are doing here. You're looking for the boss? Bruce Springsteen is not in concert today. Thank you, sir. Well, we are doing a game show, and you cannot play the game show because you need to have 3 players, and you guys are just a pair. So if you had a third, we could play, but since you don't, we're gonna have, no, you can't just pick some. Should we let them play? Okay, I guess, great. Well, let's meet, I guess, who's gonna end up being the team captain for the blue team. What's your name?
My name's Kaya.
Hi, Kaya. How old are you?
I'm 13 years old.
Well, welcome to the game show. We wish you luck as you join all of your players over there for the blue team. Congratulations. All right, so let's explain how this works. We're going to spend about the next 15 minutes playing Seal of Fortune. In order to play Seal of Fortune, I'm going to go into the audience to pick some kids to join us here on stage. Once these kids are on stage, we're going to do a physical challenge. The team that wins the physical challenge, that team is going to get access to a bonus question. If you get the bonus question correct, you will earn one of these tokens. At the end of our game, whichever team has the most tokens, we're going to send that team captain to the bonus round, which is a trip to the Plinko board. There's one person in the front row who is very enthusiastic about this. The rest of y'all need some work. So I will, no, too late now. Okay, we'll give you a do-over. They will take a trip to the Plinko board! That lighting effect was not cheap. All right, so that's pretty much how it works. We're going to get into the game as we go. Now, remember, we're going to pick our players from the audience. So, kids, if you want to join us on stage, you need to do 3 things. First, stay in your seat. 2, raise your hand. And 3rd, go nuts when I say, who wants to play Steal a Fortune? We're back. Let's meet our players for the first challenge. We're going to start with ladies first. On this side for the blue team, what's your name?
Mia.
Hi, Mia. Mia's got a fan club out there. Mia, what's your favorite animal in the whole world?
Puppy.
Puppy dog. Do you have a puppy at home?
No.
If you win this game, your adults are going to get you one, so good luck. Okay. Oh, over here for the green team, what's your name?
Mateo.
Mateo, you like dinosaurs?
Yes.
I see them on your shirt. What's your favorite dinosaur?
Tyrannosaurus.
Tyrannosaurus, that's a big guy. All right, Mia, I have a question. When you go to a restaurant and you get seafood, what's your favorite seafood to eat?
Crab.
Oh, that's a good one. Snow crab, blue crab, what kind of crab? Not sure. All right, come on, come this way, guys. Come on, I want to show you something. In these buckets, Vincent has a whole bunch of fish. What kind of fish is that? It's plastic. The thing that you need to know is when you go to a restaurant and you have seafood like crab, you don't often think about where the seafood comes from. So whether it's fish or shrimp or crab, one of the things that you need to think about is the seafood sourced sustainably? By finding sustainably sourced seafood, you can make better choices that affect ocean conservation. And you guys are going to stay here with Vincent, and when I say go, these kids are going to turn the fish into flying fish. They're going to take the fish, they're going to toss them underhand all the way up this way where the fish will be caught in nets. You want to be the, okay, so you're going to be the fisherman. Come on over. Well, since you're dressed like a fisherman and you smell like a fisherman, your job is to catch the fish for the blue team. And on the green team, Paige, you can come over this way. Well, you're dressed like a fisherman, but Paige, you are not. But have no fear. We thought ahead. Our wardrobe department got you a lovely outfit to wear as well. So this is for you. Now, Paige did not know this was going to happen. You look ridiculous. How do you feel?
Lovely.
Okay, so what we're going to do is put you right in the center here, and we're going to turn our stage into a catwalk. You're going to model this like you're on the runway, all right? So take it to the runway. Ready? Work it. Go. Yeah, Paige. All right, big pose. Oh, okay, Paige, that's enough. For not knowing that was going to happen, you did a pretty good job. Come over here. And now when all of these folks come to the Sea Lion show and they see you, they'll laugh and point. We're going to get you a net too. Now, guys, this is important. When you catch your fish, you may not use your hands. You may only use the net. You need to stay right behind this line right here. And the first team to catch 5 fish will be the winners. Remember, if you're seated on this side, you're playing for the blue team. If you're over here, you're with the green team. So audience, pick your kids and cheer them on. Kids, on your mark, get set, go! The first team to get 5 fish, you gotta throw really, toss them up, guys, really, really high. Oh, it's kind of got to throw pretty hard. No, we're like throwing ground balls here. Yes, 1 for the green team. Gotta get 1 for the blue team too. We're running out of fish here. Hey, if we run out of fish, we'll just see who has the most. Yeah, if we run out, we'll just see who has the most, Nana. It's okay. We got 2 on this side. 3 on this side. You gotta throw it a little harder. How many fish are left? We got 2 more on this side. Oh, that's stolen. It was intercepted. Let's see if we can get 1 more. And that is it. The game is over. The blue team are the winners. Congratulations. Well done. Kids, come right over this way. It looks like a fishing dock here. Adam, do we have something for these kids? Adam's just over there jibber-jabbering. We have a special prize for you guys to take home. You got a little SeaWorld plushie. All right, so you get a turtle and you get an orca, and as you go back to your seats, guys, all this applause is for you. Thanks for playing. Congratulations. Kaya, you're team won the challenge. That means you get access to a bonus question and you may pick up this token. Remember, whoever has the most tokens is going to the Plinko board. Here's your question, Kaya. We just talked a little bit about seafood and sustainability. We also talked a little bit about fishing in the ocean. We want to know if you estimated how many fishing boats are there across the whole world. How many would there be? Is it 3 million, 4 million, or 5 million? 5 seconds. All right, Kaya, your time is up. How many fishing vessels do you think are in the entire world? Is it 3 million, 4 million, or 5 million?
I'm gonna guess 4 million.
That is correct. Congratulations. That is your token. Hang on to that. Audrey, don't panic. There's a chance for you to catch up here. Come over here with me, Audrey. Actually, Kaya, why don't you come down here too? What we're going to do is we're going to pit our team captains together head-to-head in a competition. This competition that we're going to do right now, it's called the Fast Fact Grab. Now, in the Fast Fact Grab, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you a trivia question, and whoever answers the question correctly, and whoever answers the question in the shortest amount of time will win. But you're not going to shout out the answer. When you know it, you're going to run down here. Come with me, ladies. You're going to reach into the bucket, and you're going to choose your answer from the plush animals that are inside. So there is a puffin, a sea lion, a turtle, there's a shark, there's a flamingo, there is an orca, there's a narwhal, and there's a manatee. Whoever gets here first and whoever holds their plush up in the air with the correct answer will get the point. We're going to do the best of 5. So you ladies, come back here with me. We're going to start behind the line, and here is your first fact. Go find the animal that's sometimes called a sea cow. Go! What animal is sometimes called a sea cow? Dig in there, pick it up, see if you can fetch it all the way up, and it is a manatee. Correct. All right, ladies, come on back. Kaya, Audrey, we're going to do the best of 5. Stand behind the line. Here's your next fact. Typically, behind the line. Cheating. All right. Typically, the only time this animal leaves the water is when it lays eggs. Go! What animal leaves the water to lay eggs? Oh, that was close. It was a tie, so each of you get a point. Come on back. All right, so you've got 2, you've got 1. This animal gets its unique coloration from the shrimp in its diet. Go! What animal has shrimp in its diet? Yes, it's a flamingo. You got it. All right, come back this way. This will be the last. So you have 3. Let's see who can get the next one. This animal is sometimes called the unicorn of the sea. Go! What animal is called the unicorn of the sea? I think you beat her by like a split second. So that means, Kaya, you're the winner. Congratulations. Go head back over there. Nice try, Audrey. You did all right. All right, so you now have access to this bonus question. Listen carefully. You have a chance now to pick up another token. We want to ask you, of the 7 types of turtles found in our world's oceans, how many of the 7 are threatened with extinction? Is it 2, 4, or 6? 5 seconds. All right, Kaya, of the 7 types of turtles in the world, how many are threatened with extinction? 2, 4, or 6?
I think it's 6.
You are correct. Congratulations. You picked up another token. Nice catch. It's like bouncing all over the place. All right, so here's what's going to happen. This is important, Audrey. She's got 2 tokens. This is the last physical challenge. This is going to be the last chance for the green team to pick up points, which means for one more time, we're coming into the audience to pick 2 more players. If you want that to be you, stay in your seat, raise your hand, and let's know who wants to play Seal of Fortune! What's in there? They're orange and they are
Balloons?
Yes! 10 points. All right. One of the things you'll notice about these balloons is that they're not super firm. They're actually kind of mushy, and that's because these are actually special balloons. They're biodegradable balloons that we got specifically for this game. The reason we did that is balloons aren't inherently bad. If you're having a birthday party or an anniversary, you can use balloons. The challenge with marine debris, specifically plastic and balloons like this, is folks will irresponsibly dispose of them. Whether they let helium balloons go into the sky or they don't dispose of balloons properly, they'll end up in the waterways. It can cause a lot of problems for marine life, specifically birds and marine mammals. So the idea here is dispose of the balloons properly. You don't necessarily not have to use them at all. So what Dana's going to do is she's going to explain the game to you now, that way, to your right. And when I say go, the kids are going to run these balloons over here to these chairs where the balloons are going to be busted. The balloons are going to be busted by 2 players from each team. All right, so Esther, if you want to come over this way. Adam, you guys are going to have a seat right here. Adam, you are not going to use your hands to bust these balloons. Instead of your hands, you will use...
My feet?
No, you're going to use your butt. So Esther, you're going to use your rear end. Now remember, Esther, you may not use your hands to pop the balloons or your nails. You can use your hands to put it underneath your derriere, but then once it's there, you got to use your butt to pop it. Whichever team pops 5 balloons first will be the winner. Remember, this is a race. The quicker you can get the balloons to your team, the better chance you have to win. Pick your kids, cheer them on your mark, get set, go! All right, let's pass these balloons over. Who's gonna get 5 first? First 5 is gonna win. 1 on this side for the blue team, 1 for the green team. It's down to the wire, neck to neck. 2 on, oh, it fell out the front. That can cost the blue team some points. 3 on this side, pop it, you gotta get going. There's 2, 4, we need 1 more. Keep going, need 1 more. The next balloon's gonna get it. The next balloon is gonna get game over. The green team are the winners. Congratulations. Woo, you did it. Congrats. Look, now she comes alive. Congratulations. Look, we got a little plushie for you. There's a little seal, and we'll take this one on this side. We've got a penguin for you. It's a little slippery here, so watch your step. You guys, thanks for being our players. Let's give these kids a big round of applause. Right this way. Come this way. No stage diving. All right, you did it. You got the points. You excited? You have a chance to answer this bonus question. Now, Audrey, because this is the final bonus question, the final bonus question in Seal of Fortune is always worth 1, 2, 3 tokens, which means, Audrey, if you get this question correct, you will win the game. You will take victory right out of Kaya's little bomb, and you will go to the Plinko board. But if you get this question wrong, it's going to go to that side. She's going to win. She's going to get all the chips, and you'll go home with a runner-up prize. Would you rather go to the board or have the runner-up prize?
Board.
Yeah, good answer. Here we go, Audrey. Listen carefully. We just talked about marine debris and trash. We want to know which type of trash takes the longest to decompose. Is it aluminum, plastic, or styrofoam? 5 seconds. All right, time is up. Now, you can go out on your own and pick your own answer. You can go with an answer from Paige and Adam. This is entirely up to you. I'll repeat the question one more time. Which of these takes the longest to decompose? Aluminum, plastic, or styrofoam?
Plastic?
That is correct. You got it, congratulations! Audrey, you did it, you got all 3 tokens. More importantly, you're gonna be taking a trip in just a minute to the Plinko board. We'll see what you win. We can't do that before we say goodbye to Kaya. Kaya, you put up a good fight. Let's give Kaya a big hand. Congratulations on being our runner-up. You're not leaving empty-handed. We have a prize package for you. It's a SeaWorld prize package, a cool backpack, cool plush animal, and a lot of SeaWorld Rescue Team swag. Stay here. Let's see how Audrey does in the Plinko board. Thanks for being our player today. Once again, Kaya for the blue team. Come on down, Audrey. Bring your chips over this way. We're going to talk a little bit about how the Plinko board works. Audrey, have you ever seen Plinko played before? Have you ever seen Plinko played before? All right, right, let's turn this way so everyone can see you, and I'm going to explain how Plinko works. In just a minute, you're going to climb up the stairs to the top of the Plinko board, and you're going to put the chips into one of the 4 holes at the top. Your chip is going to go clink, 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 all the way down to the very bottom, where it's going to land in one of these squares. Now, because this is a big theater, I don't think everyone can see the squares, so let's talk about what's on the squares. The first square closest to us is a picture of a... Thank you. It's a clock. And if she gets her token in the picture of the clock, what do you think you're taking home? A clock. No, you're not taking home a clock. If it lands there, we're going to give you a pass so that you can skip the line on all of the rides here at SeaWorld. So you don't have to stand in any lines. All right. The second picture is a picture of a palm tree. If your chip lands in the hole with the picture of a palm tree, what are you taking home?
Palm tree?
No. If it lands in the picture of a palm tree, we're going to send you and one guest on a trip to Discovery Cove. You'll get to swim with thousands of tropical fish. You'll get to hang out at the beach. It's going to be pretty cool. You ever been there?
No.
Well, hopefully your chip will land in there. The next picture is a picture of a knife and fork. That'll be all your meals. Will be all-day dining here at SeaWorld. Then there's a picture of a giant stuffed animal. You get a giant stuffed animal. And then in the center, the grand prize is a picture of a dolphin. If your chip lands in that square of the picture of a dolphin, you will be taking home a...
Dolphin?
What kind of show do you think this is? No! If it lands in the picture of a dolphin, not only will we send you and the guests to Discovery Cove, you will also get to swim with the dolphins while you're there. So before you climb up the stairs, tell everybody which one you're going to aim for.
Dolphin.
All right. Vince is going to take you all the way up the stairs. He's going to show you where the 4 slots are in the Plinko board. And Audrey, whenever you are ready, one at a time, you'll place one chip flat into the hole and let it rip. Ready, Audrey? Good luck. There it goes. Oh, it's... Okay. Now, Audrey, you have a decision to make. It landed in the picture of the giant plush animal. You can take the giant plush animal. You can go back to your seat. You can go home and call it quits. Or you can give your stuffed animal back and you can try again. What do you want to do?
Try again. Try again.
She's going to try again. She's going for it. All right. Second chip. Find a hole, place it flat against the board, and Audrey, whenever you're ready, let it rip. Drum roll, please. Audrey, it's coming. Oh. Audrey, you have one chip left. Now there's lots of prizes. You landed in the stuffed animal. Do you want to keep the stuffed animal or do you want to risk it one more time?
Risk it one more time.
She's going to risk it one more time. All right, this is the last chip. Before you go, Audrey, whenever it lands in this time, that's what you're going to be taking home. We have someone from the Peanut Gallery said, put it farther over. Hold on, don't let it go, Audrey. Is that one of Audrey's adults who's shouting? Yeah? Audrey, you can put it wherever you want. Audrey, good luck. It's going down the hole. All right, Audrey, congratulations. Come on over. You did great. You're going to be eating all day on us. It's all day dining. You get an opportunity to enjoy all of SeaWorld's culinary delights, and everything that you need for your entire day is right here in this envelope. Audrey, who did you come here with today?
My brother, my sister, and my mom.
Well, it's all-day dining for 2 people, so pick your favorite. All right, hey, guys, thanks for joining us for Seal of Fortune. We sure had a whole lot of fun. We hope you enjoyed everything that Inside Look here at SeaWorld has to offer. Bye-bye, everybody.
How are y'all today? Good, good. I'm John Peterson, otherwise known as JP, and Vice President of Zoological Operations. But I run our rescue operations, some people know, for a very long time. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about rescue. If you've ever seen this before, you might hear some stuff that's new, you might see some stuff that was old. Really, I don't know what everybody knows about SeaWorld Rescue. So one of the big things we're going to show you is we're over 39,000 animals rescued since conception. But one of the other things I want you guys to understand is what's going on in the last couple of months with what's called an unusual mortality event that you might hear in the news about manatees. So you want to flip this slide here, you're going to see some very interesting things go on. So there it is, and it's very at the bottom. It's 39,542 animals rescued at point. On the next slide, you're going to see where we stand for the last month. The last month has been really, really busy. There's just numbers up there that in norm, we don't see these kind of numbers running right now. So it's why is it going on? What are we seeing that's causing this? Well, an unusual mortality event of starvation with manatees, a cold front that hit. We had a warmer winter again, now it's getting cold again. So you got, in the month of November, end of the month of November into the start of December, 31 cold stuns on sea turtles that were brought down from New England, 10 manatees, a total of 54 for the years. We had a manatee in Galveston, it's still there, it's at SeaWorld San Antonio. Most people don't know that all our parks do rescue. Dolphin in Cutoff, Louisiana, and 224 birds. We're already up to 2 manatees as of yesterday to the start of this year. 1 dolphin, and we got some other stuff on the cooker. The next slide is sort of an interesting one. In that month that I'm talking about, and it's about a 3.5 week, we traveled a little over 6,590 miles. The team's run, and the map is a little larger than what my screen is, which is fine, but we're 5,298 when I made it. At the end of the year, we did 6,000 plus miles of travel. But New Orleans, we went into New Orleans last year 4 times for dolphin rescues. We had one in November. Galveston, like I said, we went for a manatee. Really interesting fact that you guys will be the first to know, we actually have another manatee in Texas right now, about Brownsville, Texas. Everybody know where Brownsville, Texas is? No, you do. Yeah. It's about 3 miles from the border. So on that water, it's very interesting because we can't cross over into Mexico. We have to stay on the U.S. side. So as the manatee goes that way, I've got to walk away, and as the manatee comes back into you, we got to go back into it. You say, well, why are you going out there for this manatee? He'll be fine. Hopefully he will, but he probably won't because water temperatures are way too cold for him. They're starting to drop. There's another front pushing right now. So unfortunately, if we don't get to him quick enough, he will expire to cold stress. But the teams are all over it, and that's working with a lot of networks. That's Southeast Stranding Network, that's the Texas Park, the SeaWorld Park here in Orlando, NOAA, U.S. Fisheries, a lot of different groups coming together. Next slide, give you a little bit more on catching in Louisiana. This is second rescue in Louisiana last year. As you can tell, we don't have any pretty boats. We don't have anything real fancy. This was after Hurricane Ida. These animals were up in a riverway that goes up. They were in fresh water, so they were in zero salinity, about 120 miles from where they should be. They got pushed during the storm. Did not want to go back under the bridges, so the flood probably gave enough water to get through. Really interesting thing about this picture is the dolphins in the far back. You can't really see it, I just know where it is. There's also a 12-foot alligator that's in that setup. We always deal with alligators, and people say, oh, are you scared of alligators? Not really. Only a certain time of year you get nervous of alligators, and that's during their nesting season. Outside of that, as long as you're a little bit loud, you move your feet a lot, you stomp in the water, they'll usually get out of the way. But it does make for an interesting couple minutes. Well, you gotta let that alligator get his way out of my net so I don't have to deal with it. Next slide's sort of fun. These are the 2 dolphins that were inside there. It's a mom and calf pair. And people say, where'd you go with them? Did you bring them back here? Did you take them to Texas Park? Did you take them to IMMS or Audubon? No, we took about an hour and 35-minute boat ride down all the way and literally let them go right off the bow of our boat back into the Gulf. Last year we did 19 dolphin rescues, and all 19 dolphin rescues, we returned them back to their natural waterways on the same day that we did the rescue. And you said, well, we saw on Facebook that you had a dolphin in Apollo who went over to Clearwater, who was in our, yeah, that's a stranded dolphin, actually washed up on the beach. So as we're all over the United States doing rescues, we're also operating out of this park with all our rehab centers. So these teams just run and spread. It's the reach we have, it's a really neat thing. But that's really cool to see as a mom and calf pair, healthy, good. Why do you put towels on? Well, a couple of reasons. One, we don't want to get sunburned. We've got a ride to go, and they're not used to being out. 2, it's a way we can keep them cooled down, so we can just keep wetting it down. And then 3, and you'll laugh at this, when you're driving that fast down waterways, you'll wind burn. So their skin's really sensitive to that, so you protect against all that. Why don't you cover up their heads? That's pretty obvious. They need to breathe. But we protect everything else. Next slide here actually shows where we rescued, where we traveled, released, and where we traveled and released. And you say, well, it's 2 animals, why? We didn't split them up. This is multiple trips. We took 5 animals out of that waterway. 2 pairs, mom and calves pairs, and then a young adolescent male who was on his own. Had gone up in that, if you look at that river where you see the dots mud run up into the grass. If I zoom this way in, it's a riverway that goes up, a waterway that goes through a bunch of dikes, and then works its way up to an oil center. So anyhow, but those are the tracks. So once we're done, we don't just walk away from them. We're not just like, have a good day, swim off, great to see. We like that, but we also keep a tag on them. Most people ask me, how long does the tag last? It depends what we're trying to find out. On these kind of tags, I just want Latin lunch, so I'm just looking for traveling. That's what we want to see off it. So that tag will last us anywhere from 6 months to a year. Some other tags we use, we want a lot more information. And the tags are about yay big. They're really small. The other tags, I want a lot of information, like how deep are you? What's the water temperature? How long do you stay down? That's what we do on pelagics. Those tags don't last as long because when they hit the surface, there's an upload of all that information and it burns a lot of battery. But in these, we get a lot of information on track of where you go. Now you say, okay, you got all the track, what's that do? Well, 2 things. 1, we can tell when they're really migrating correctly, like they're back with a pod again. 2, if they were to go back and beach again, I have to go back. That's part of it. We have to go back and help them. So we say on the hook, until that tag burn is out, if anything happens, we as SeaWorld, we as Southeast Stranding will react to it and we will head back to that animal if needed. Next slide's going to show you guys just some of our partners, some of our groups that we work with. If I put every partner up there, I'd have like 15 slides. We work with so many different organizations, groups, inside Florida, outside Florida, inside the United States and outside the United States, all to come together to care for an animal. So this is just a little touch. If you've ever seen this before, you might have seen this. This is in Brownsville, Texas. I end up in Brownsville a lot. I'm not sure why. Well, I've got a couple of theories. Brownsville does a lot of fishing, and that's why we get into what we got in here. It also is a very, very lush area with fish. It's a lush area with grass, so animals congregate there because it's a good environment. So this is us using a boat. Dolphin's up on what we call a Navy mat. It's called a Navy mat because it was designed by the Navy. It floats. It can hold probably somewhere around 3,000 pounds above water, so it's a great working platform when you're in deep water, and that's deep water that we're dealing with, so we put them up on the mat so we can deal with them. The next slide's going to show why we're dealing with them. Now it actually showed the compass. Big set, big set of net. People say, it's got to be easy. Go out there, just drive your boat around, and whatever you got in there, pull it up. I'm not a trawler. I'm not allowed to do that. My permit's very specific. I'm allowed to catch the animal of meat. That's it. No other animal. If a sea turtle's inside there and touches my net, it has to come in for 48 hours for observation. If a manatee's inside there, I have to open up the net, let them out. If a shark's inside there, it's a protected species, I cannot. So when you do something like this and you say, well, how do you know for sure you had nothing in there? I'll be honest with you, that's why it takes us hours and hours and days to get this done sometimes, because I will not place that set until I know my area is clear to do it. So if I'm in the middle of a set and I'm coming around and the dolphin's in the center and I see that I've got a turtle or I see that there's a shark, and from 14 feet up on the tower you can see really good in most water, I will stop, I will turn around and open my net back up. So I will not close it up because that would be an issue. If, and it does happen, if I do and there's something in there, then we have to deal with it and we have to walk through that whole process. Next slide is explaining why. It's at the bottom. It's really hard for you guys to see because it's really blown up, and I apologize. He had about 75 hooks on him. He had a little over, I think it was 15 pounds worth of monofilament line and lures and weights. This poor little guy was dragging around. You can go to the next slide, I'll show it better. This little guy was pulling around just all these fishing hooks. And you say, well, what do you do? Well, we give a long-lasting antibiotic. Our veterinarians go with us. So we check them, we treat them. We've got this really cool machine that I can take blood, I can put in this little disc, it's called a G4 disc, and I stick it in, it's called an iStat. It runs all the blood in the field for me. I actually love it. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't like water, it doesn't like salt water, and it seems every time we go out, someone drops it in the water on me after we're done, and I end up having to get another one. So go to the next slide here. No more slides, all right? So why do we make all this effort? Why is it so important to do that? Do you know why? You're like, don't call me out here. That's all right, I won't call you out. I'll tell you why it's important to me, because you guys need to be able to see dolphins and manatees and turtles as you guys grow up. And hopefully as you grow up, you'll do the same thing and help tell that story to make sure your kids can see dolphins, manatees, and turtles, and sharks and all that. You know, people don't realize SeaWorld also runs the largest rescue facility for corals. Florida reef trap is getting destroyed by, for lack of a better word, a really bad virus and bug that's running across and it's killing it. So NOAA and FWC and U.S. Fish and Wildlife are down in dry tortugas, and they're actually got healthy corals that they've brought back up. And because SeaWorld and my aquarists are so good at taking care of corals, they're able to treat it. We have a veterinarian here whose specialty is corals. Corals are animals, it's not a plant, it is an animal. Some of them have 3, 4, 5 mouths. So the goal of this is we have now 700 animals who are growing and getting bigger, and they're spawning, and the spawn is going to be grown again, and then we're going back and starting with knowing them to plant back into the Florida reef trap on this side where this virus has already run through and it's no longer there, and reseeding and then allowing the reef to regrow. Because if you don't have coral, we got problems. So if you don't have the bottom of the ocean healthy and the top of the ocean healthy, everything in between falls. So it's really, really important. That's what's going on with manatees right now. We've got no seagrass. We've got a 70+ mile range of what you would call just a desert at this point. The seagrass isn't there, the fishing's not there, the sea turtles are having problems, manatees have nothing to eat, and they all come back to this area to migrate, to lay eggs, to come in for cold stress. So the complicators, because our oceans aren't real healthy on the bottom, are creating massive problems on the top. So that's why it's so important to rescue turtles, is why it's so important to deal with corals and take care of that. Guys, I really appreciate all your time. If you have questions, you can raise your hand. I'll walk around and talk to you, but thank you.